this point, you've always said it's an exciting time of the year with the postseason. What have you guys got accomplished so far in practice that has you looking even more positive about the postseason?
It's just more detail oriented. It's kind of football style. Always these first series because you have a lot of time to prepare for the team that you're going against. So just feeling things out. Light scrimmage today. It was a good time.
Curious, I saw you and Kevin in the pregame in LA, and it was like you guys were doing the same drill, and it was obviously it's competition because both of you are competitive. But what's that like being in the drills with him, knowing that he's going a certain speed and you're going a certain speed, and that whole back and forth in that situation?
For me, it's just learning. I'm still a student of the game, and understand that's one of, if not the best scorer to ever play this game. So I'm watching every step that he takes very closely, and I've always watched this game that way, but from a distance. And now the chance to get it live and right in front of you is even better.
Looking like you were into the sneakers too, the pearls you had on the other day.
Yeah. Paying homage. That's one of the shoes that was went through. I feel like his whole line. From the first one on. So I know it's very meaningful to him, and it was a shoe that I wore back in the day, and I had it in a few of his, the 6s, the 7s, and 8s. Yeah.
What does this feel like your third playoff? So when you look around, it's cool to see the guys that you're surrounded by.
100%. I'm confident in what we got here. We have everybody locked in. We have guys with a lot of experience, guys with little. But it's a good mesh. We're ready to go.
Were you itching to get back here anymore with the way it ended last year?
100%. And the year before too. Whenever you fall short of your goal, you want to get right back to it. That's all you can do. So, we swallowed that pill, and it's on to the next one, and we get another opportunity.
When someone brings up the Western Conference Finals from 2 years ago, what are some of the first things that come to mind for you with how that series played out?
Broken nose. Broken nose. It's a fun one, man. That's a product of the details matter. I think we stole game 2 that year. It's different. 1-1, 2-0. Everybody knows it's a whole different ball game, and being able to get that lob, and Chris out to start the series with COVID, so it just shows you that you never know what to expect in the playoffs, and they play really good basketball. I remember them ended up switching a lot of things 1 through 5, and it's gonna be fun matching up against them again.
With the offensive talent that you guys have, teams are naturally going to play off Josh, but how have you seen him take advantage of that, whether it's his shot, cutting, offensive rebounding, and so on?
Yeah, everything you just said. He can hit the open shot. Also, he can catch and drive and make a play for somebody, or he can get in there and be athletic too. But when you're helping off a guy like that and the shot goes up, it's kind of hard to box him out when he's going full speed at you. So, Josh has been making us extra money on those.
Does it feel any different this year?
We have a different roster. That's the only difference. But the preparation's the same. We're all ready to go.
You look at Kawhi, it took some time for him to get back to form after the ACL tear, but he's gotten back clearly.
100%.
What have you seen from his ability to impact both ends of the floor?
I mean, we all know what he's capable of. That's a Finals MVP, a 2-time champ, and he's seasoned. He's been there before. We know this is the time of year that he plays, and I have a lot of respect for him. So excited for the opportunity to match up against him.
What kind of atmosphere do you expect?
Oh man, you guys know what it's going to be. I can't wait to feel it. That's a feeling that I definitely miss. They've been holding it down all regular season, but I know it's a whole different beast once, it turns into it.
It's not the Lakers, but is there a bigger sense of pride in beating LA coming from Phoenix?
Man, I really don't have no personal, thing with anybody. I want to get to the end and finish it. So, whoever's in our path during that is that.
Away from the court too, we were talking with Terrence yesterday about his love for metal, and when you hear that in the locker room compared to other guys that have, like maybe make plays, some hip hop or R&B with Dame Lee, like what is that like when you hear a guy play something that's so different from what you normally hear?
I mean, yeah, definitely uncommon, but I respect it. I try to pride myself on my versatility in music too, and I'm always open ears to anything. So all my friends have different genres of music that they enjoy, and I give it all a chance and usually see the beauty in it.
You're a Detroit guy, or you're a Grand Rapids guy, but you basically have some pride in Detroit, which is a rock town too.
That's true. But in my personal household, I didn't grow up on rock. So, I think it's all a product of, how you were raised and whatever my mom and dad were beating into my ears at a young age.
You got the barge from, Grand Rapids too, right? R&B.
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar. That's good to
They're a
know.
little older.
Yeah.
R&B.
Okay.
With your admiration for Kevin over the years, is there a specific playoff moment that comes to mind
Ooh.
watching him?
I mean, finals MVP. The shot that almost had us playing against each other just a couple years ago, toe on the line. But there's many OKC days. I can't think of just one, but it's a two-time world champ.
Hard to believe that's going to be on your side now.
Yeah, I mean it's never something I would have expected, and couldn't have even dreamed it. But it's here now, and I think that adds a little bit of pressure to everybody, knowing that you have somebody that's been there and finished it, and that's the expectation.
Look at those Converse that you just lost come to be. What was the idea behind it?
I mean, I don't know if you've seen me talk about it at all. I just want it to be, a blank canvas. I love the silhouette of the shoe, and I didn't want to take away from it by putting a whole lot of extra things on it. So just letting it speak for itself. Put a cool creative behind it and sent it off to a lot of my friends. I'm gonna let them draw on it, make it however they want, and then I'll be, posting those soon too once they draw on it, create on it.
Devin, Kevin had 2 extended absences during this season, but you guys have not really missed a beat when he comes back. One time when after he got traded and after he got injured. What do you attribute that to?
We just hoopers. We knew each other's games. Before he got here, we always had a high respect for each other, and not just us. The whole team has a respect for him and understands what he's capable of, and he just knows how to play the game. He's efficient in what he does. He rebounds at a high level, block shots at a high level, and you can plug that into any system.
Why was it important for you to be out there for McCoy's honoring out there at halftime?
Yeah, so important. I think that was one of the biggest moments in this, organization's history. And, he's been a big product of, what this franchise is and what it's become and, the history behind it. So, I'm so, it's bittersweet. He gets to go into retirement, but we're definitely going to miss hearing his voice daily. I'm sure he's going to be around. I'm going to check on him, and, it's my guy for life.
But obviously it'd be great to win a title for Al to get one.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
For
Yeah,
Al to get one after 51 years.
let's do it. I'm on the same page as you.
What's been the biggest thing you've learned from Chris over the last 3 years?
You can't narrow it down to one thing. There's so many different aspects to on the court and off the court, but he's just a leader. I know it sounds cliche and that's what everybody says, but there's no on and off button with leadership. And he always has an on. He's not scared to hold anybody accountable, and everybody respects it because they know how much he cares and how much he watches this game, and the longevity of his career, and his resume speaks for itself.
Chris has kind of had, at least earlier in his career, sort of had a reputation for after a few years, it seemed like guys got tired of his leadership or there were beefs and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem like that's happened here. What do you think, that's him growing up? Or I guess that'd be a better question for him, but what have you seen? Why, 2-3 years later, does it still resonate with y'all?
I think that's just personal relationships with people. That has nobody's relationship has anything to do with me. And, that's a very close friend of mine outside of this game. He's always looked out for me, even when we weren't teammates. So I've always had a high regard and respect for him, and, what he's done for the NBA as, the Players Association president. And, there's just a big list of what he's done for youth basketball and his CP3 Academy, CP3 camps. Like, that takes a lot of effort and care. And, you know, that guy has it.
Thanks.
Thanks, folks.
Yep.
Congrats on Poppers.
Appreciate